Asian doll just opened a door that everyone thought would stay locked forever, and the name she brought into it is Lil Durk. Her new statement didn't just spark controversy, it sent shockwaves through the entire hip-hop world. She didn't hint, she didn't suggest it, she straight up said that Lil Durk wasn't honest about what really happened to King Von. The moment she said it, the internet froze, fans stopped scrolling, bloggers hit records, and the streets started buzzing louder than ever, because this isn't just anyone talking, this is someone who was with Von, someone who claimed to feel his pain, someone who witnessed the pressure, jealousy, and chaos surrounding him. And now, years later, she's saying the story the world believed wasn't the full truth. So the question hanging over the entire rap scene is, what did Durk lie about? Did he cover up details? Did he leave something out? Or did he shape the narrative in a way that protected himself or the people around him? Everything about this moment feels intentional and dangerous. Durk is already under heavy public scrutiny. OTF has been dealing with loss after loss, and Vin's name still holds a powerful weight in the streets. But Asian doll's words, they cut through all of that. Some fans say she's finally telling the truth people were scared to say. Others say she's stirring drama for attention. But one thing everybody agrees on is this. Her accusation is the boldest statement anyone has dared to make about Vin's death since the day it happened. And now, the pressure is on. People want answers. People want receipts. People want the real story behind Vin's final moments. Because if Asian doll is telling even half the truth, then the entire narrative we accepted for years might collapse in front of our eyes. This isn't just a story. This is a bomb waiting to go off. Asian doll has officially blown open a door the internet thought would never be touched again. And the moment she spoke, everything in the rap world shifted. For years, fans believed they understood King Vin's final night. They believed the interviews, the statements, the documentaries, the rumors, the timelines. But all it took was one sentence from Asian doll to make people question the entire foundation. Lil Durk lied about what really happened to Von. Those words weren't whispered. They weren't thrown casually. They hit like a bullet, and the community felt it instantly. What made her statement even more powerful was who it came from. Asian doll wasn't some random outsider. She wasn't someone who knew Von from the internet or saw him from a distance. She was someone who lived beside him, talked to him, argued with him, loved him, fought for him, and defended him long before the cameras started paying attention. She was inside the circle, inside the rooms, inside the energy. So, when someone with that kind of access accuses Durk of hiding the truth, it becomes impossible to ignore. The internet reacted within seconds. Blogs flooded timelines with screenshots. YouTube commentators scrambled to upload videos. Fans who always felt something wasn't right suddenly felt validated. And at the same time, Durk supporters pushed back, insisting that Asian doll was stirring trouble for attention. But regardless of whose side people took, one thing became obvious. This wasn't just another rap drama moment. This was a direct attack on one of the biggest, most influential figures in hip-hop, and it was tied to one of the most emotional losses the culture has ever seen. To understand why her words hit so deep, you have to look at the silence that surrounded Vin's death from the beginning. Everyone involved said something, but nobody said everything. There were contradictions, gaps, strange details that didn't match. People who were there gave slightly different versions. People who were close to the crew stayed unusually quiet, and the biggest silence of all came from Lil Durk, the person everyone expected to speak the loudest. Fans always wondered why Durk avoided giving a full public breakdown of the night. Some said he was still grieving. Some said he was protecting himself legally. Some said the pain was too deep. But others felt like there was more to it. Like pieces of the story were missing. Like everyone involved was reading from a script that didn't tell the whole truth. Asian doll was one of the few people who openly shared her grief, posting her heartbreak on social media and defending Von whenever she felt people were disrespecting his name. But even she stopped short of saying anything against Durk. Until now. This sudden shift makes people ask the real question. Why now? Why speak after years of holding back? Why come forward at a time when Durk is already facing pressure from the courts, the streets, the media, and critics who always wondered if there was more to the story. It almost feels too perfectly timed to be random. It feels like a trigger was pulled behind the scenes, something that made Asian Doll finally decide the truth couldn't stay buried anymore. People online immediately started connecting old dots. They revisited clips where Vaughn seemed frustrated with certain people around him. They rewatched interviews where OTF members looked uncomfortable whenever Vin's death came up. They pulled up tweets from the days following the tragedy that hinted at tension nobody noticed before. Suddenly, the puzzle pieces Asian Doll referenced began to look like they actually belonged together. Her statement didn't explain what Durk supposedly lied about, and that's exactly what makes it explosive. The mystery is what keeps the internet awake. Did he lie about why Vaughn was at the club that night? Did he lie about conversations they had earlier? Did he lie about what he knew beforehand? Did he lie about the aftermath? Did he hide someone's involvement? Did he leave out details to protect himself or the team? These are the questions now tearing social media apart. What makes the situation even more sensitive is the street element tied to Vin's death. This wasn't a random accident or a simple misunderstanding. It was tied to real beef, real loyalty, real danger, and real consequences. When someone accuses a man of lying about the death of his friend, they're not just questioning honesty, they're questioning loyalty. They're questioning responsibility. They're questioning the foundation of an entire crew. And in rap culture, loyalty is everything. Once you accuse someone of breaking that loyalty, especially someone as powerful as Lil Durk, you're poking at a wound that has never fully healed. Asian Doll didn't just tell a story. She triggered a war between fan bases, between theories, between emotions, between people who want the truth and people who want the narrative to stay untouched. There's also the emotional weight behind her voice. Asian Doll was deeply tied to Vaughn on a personal level. She was one of the loudest voices mourning his loss, defending his legacy, and refusing to let anyone disrespect him in death. So, when she says someone lied, fans believe she isn't doing it for views. She's doing it because something inside her snapped. Maybe she held this in for years. Maybe she didn't want trouble. Maybe she knew speaking out would shake everything. But now, it seems the pressure finally broke through. If Durk responds, this entire situation could explode even bigger. If he stays silent, people will continue to assume the worst. And if Asian Doll decides to reveal more, screenshots, messages, stories, conversations, it could completely reframe how the world remembers that night. Right now, fans are refreshing timelines, waiting for the next clue, the next statement, the next crack in the story. Because whatever Asian Doll knows, it's heavy enough to make the world pause. And whatever comes next, it's clear that this story has only just begun. The moment Asian Doll's words hit the timeline, everything changed. It felt like someone had reopened a wound that never healed. But this time, instead of pain, there were questions. Sharp, dangerous questions nobody ever dared to ask publicly. And in the center of all those questions stood Lil Durk. People wanted answers from him, but he stayed silent, like he always had when it came to Vin's death. And that silence only made the internet louder. What made this moment feel even heavier was the history between Durk and Vaughn. They weren't just label mates. They weren't just rappers trying to make money together. They were tied together in a way that made fans believe their bond was unbreakable. Same crew, same struggles, same enemies, same dreams. To many, they looked like brothers. That's why Asian Doll's accusation didn't just feel like drama. It felt like betrayal. Because if Durk lied, then the friendship people idolized may not have been what it seemed. In the hours after her statement, fans started revisiting everything about that night. They replayed every camera angle, every police report, every interview. People noticed things they ignored before: the tension in certain statements, the contradictions in timelines, the body language in interviews. They studied Durk's reactions in videos where Vin's name came up. They dug through old tweets that suddenly looked different in the light of this new accusation. It was like the entire internet became detectives overnight, searching for clues, hunting for the missing piece that might prove or disprove what Asian Doll said. At the same time, street pages started dropping their own theories. Some said Asian doll knew something from someone inside OTF. Others believed she heard something directly from Vaughn before he passed. A few claimed that people around Durk had always been uncomfortable discussing that night, like they were hiding a part of the story the public never got to hear. These weren't random kids online. These were people who followed street politics closely, people who paid attention to things music fans usually ignored. Durk's silence became a weapon people used against him. Every hour he didn't respond, more theories appeared. Some said he was ignoring her because she was being emotional. Others said he couldn't respond publicly due to legal reasons. A few darker theories claimed he stayed quiet because saying anything would expose contradictions. Silence can mean many things, but in moments like this, silence carries weight, and the weight was crushing. Meanwhile, Asian doll didn't backtrack. She didn't soften her words. She didn't explain. But she didn't deny anything either. That confidence terrified fans who believed her. They wondered what she had that made her so bold. Did she have messages? Did she have proof? Did she hear a confession? Was it something said to her in trust that she finally decided to break? Her silence after dropping the accusation only made it hit harder, like she knew the world would take care of the rest without her saying another word. People close to Vaughn also began getting dragged into the conversation. Fans dug up old posts where individuals hinted that not everyone was as loyal as they claimed. They found clips where people hesitated when asked about the night Vaughn died. They pulled up comments where individuals said he was set up or left alone at the wrong moment. Suddenly, everything that once looked like grief began looking like guilt or warning signs. And what made this moment even more explosive was how divided the culture became. Half the internet believed Asian doll instantly. They called her brave for speaking out when everyone else stayed quiet. They said she was finally telling the truth people were scared to say because Durk was too powerful. They said the truth always finds a way out, no matter how long it takes. The other half accused her of trying to grab attention. They said she stirred drama every time she needed relevance. They said Vaughn wouldn't want her dragging his name into internet wars. They said she was emotional and projecting her pain onto someone who didn't deserve it. Some even went as far as calling her a liar. But none of them could explain why she would risk everything by accusing someone as big as Durk without a reason. Deep down, everyone sensed the same thing. There was more to the story, and Asian doll knew it. The scariest part of her claim wasn't what she said, it was what she didn't say. Because accusing someone publicly is one thing, but leaving the accusation open-ended is more dangerous. It creates imagination, it creates fear, it creates narratives nobody can control. The question that kept replaying online was simple. If Durk really lied, what was he trying to protect? Was it himself? Was it someone in his crew? Was it a situation that would have made everything worse legally? Or was it something deeper? Something darker? Something that would change how people saw him forever? Vin's death was one of the biggest losses in rap. His fans loved him. The streets respected him. His music exploded after his passing. So the idea that the story people mourned for years might not be the full truth. It hurts. It feels like reopening a grave. Now, the internet waits, restless, scanning every move Asian doll makes, every post Durk drops, every interview snippet resurfacing, every rumor spreading. Because the truth, whatever it is, feels closer than ever. And when it comes out, the rap world may never be the same again. As the days passed after Asian doll's accusation, the tension in the rap world didn't fade. It grew. Every hour felt calm before something big, something unpredictable. The silence from Lil Durk was starting to feel louder than any statement he could have made. Fans weren't just waiting for him to speak. They were analyzing his every move, every post, every lyric, every moment of inactivity. Silence is powerful, but in moments like this, silence feels like guilt to some, protection to others, and confusion to everyone in between. Meanwhile, the Asian doll wasn't backing down. She didn't delete her words. She didn't clarify them. She didn't try to soften the blow. Her calmness scared people more than the accusation itself. Normally, when someone stirs controversy, they argue, tweet, rant, or fire back. But her stillness made fans think she knew something solid, something she didn't even need to defend. That kind of confidence is dangerous. People close to Vaughn started being dragged into the storm again. Old friends, producers, even bloggers who covered the case early on were being asked to speak up. Everyone wanted someone, anyone, to add another piece to the puzzle. But the ones who actually knew Vaughn personally stayed quiet, like they didn't want to get caught in the middle of a battle that could explode into something uglier than anyone expected. And that's the part nobody wants to admit. This isn't just internet drama. This is tied to real pain, real loss, real relationships, and real consequences. Accusing someone of lying about a man's death in a game, it's a threat to their reputation, their legacy, and their truth. If Asian Doll is right, Durk's image is in danger. If she's wrong, then she's playing with one of the heaviest stories in modern rap. The culture now stands in a strange, fragile place. One wrong move could turn the situation into chaos. One screenshot, one leaked message, one insider statement. That's all it would take to shift everything again. And the scariest part, everyone feels like the truth is close. Too close. Close enough that Durk may eventually have to speak. Close enough that Asian Doll might finally reveal more. Close enough that the entire narrative of that night could crumble. Whatever comes next, it won't be small, it won't be quiet, and it won't be easy for anyone involved. If you've made it this far into the story, then you already know. This isn't just another headline, another rumor, or another street tale. This is real history unfolding right in front of us, and the only place breaking it down with truth, detail, and real understanding is Rapscope X. Every twist, every hidden move, every courtroom update, every street reaction, we bring you the full picture, not just the surface level noise. So before you click away, do one thing that keeps this community growing. Hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss a single update, because the next chapter in this story could drop at any moment, and you know Rapscope X will be the first to break it down for you. And if you value real storytelling, real investigation, and real respect for the culture, then smash that like button. Drop a comment and let us know what you think is coming next, because your voice is part of this story too. This isn't just a channel, this is a movement. This is the hub for anyone who wants to understand what's really going on behind the scenes. Welcome to Rapscope X. Stay locked in. Rapscope X. Stay locked in.